Allegedly a romantical thing. It's all right. I'll say alleged, but we know. Yeah, she hit it before Beyonce.
Hold up, let's take it from the top. Gets my swerve on.
So, Foxy Brown just dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking. You know Jay-Z, the rap mogul with all the fame and fortune, Beyonce's hubby? Well, Foxy isn't letting him slide this time, it seems. She's coming out with some jaw-dropping allegations that could shake up his shiny big bro rep. For years, Jay-Z has been like Teflon, brushing off controversies and keeping his image squeaky clean, to a point that is just straight sus. Foxy's coming out with shocking stories from back in the day when she was just a teenager and he was already a grown man in the industry. According to Foxy, Jay-Z didn't just mentor her, she's alleging he used and her during those early years. It's been a long time since all this went down, but Foxy's revelations are making the internet side-eye Jay-Z like never before. Some of the stuff she says he did is beyond messed up, but is it all true? Did Jay really manipulate her and then use his power to get her blacklisted in Hollywood? Jay has been on the news a lot lately. The rumor mill is working overtime right now. His BFF Diddy has been on the news, and not for rumors. We've seen the receipts, and boy is there a lot of them. Her claims are bold, making us all question how much power and privilege can protect someone. So what's the scoop? What's the whole story? Keep watching, we'll get there.
You're barely 20 years old, and you're traveling all over the place. You're Europe, America, selling records, living this life. I see you everywhere.
Foxy Brown, aka Inga DeCarlo Fung Marchand. Born in the diverse heart of Brooklyn, New York, Foxy is a blend of cultures that's just as unique as her flow. She's got Trinidadian blood running through her veins with a mix of Afro-Trinidadian, Indo-Trinidadian, and Chinese-Trinidadian heritage. Talk about a cultural melting pot. Born around 1978, growing up in the cozy neighborhood of Park Slope, Brooklyn, Foxy was the youngest with two big brothers looking out for her. Life threw her a curveball early on. Her parents split up when she was just 4 and had to move in with Grandpa. Foxy was already making waves before most of us could even handle middle school drama. By 1994, before she even hit Sweet 16, she snatched the spotlight at a talent contest with her freestyle skills. Talk about leveling up before you can drive. During her on-fire performance, who happens to be vibing in the audience? None other than Tone and Poke, the beat-making geniuses behind LL Cool J's 1995 album, Mr. Smith. They were shook by her talent and had to get her on a track. They handed her the mic for LL's I Shot Ya beat, and Foxy laid down a verse so sick they didn't even tell LL Cool J before sliding it into the remix. Wild! When Cool J first heard it, he thought it was some young dude spitting those bars. Imagine his shock when he found out it was a teenager, a teenage queen. Of course, he had to keep that fire verse.
Raw dog without protection, disease infested, Italiano got the Luciano.
After blowing up on that remix, Foxy was everywhere. She was on some of the hottest tracks, from Tony Braxton's You're Making Me High remix to Case's Touch Me, Tease Me, and Jay-Z's Ain't No Enda. Her verse became a goldmine, and the labels were fighting like it was Black Friday. In 1996, when she was just 17, Def Jam snagged her in a major label deal. Her debut album, Il Na Na, dropped like a bomb in the same year, and Foxy didn't just meet expectations, she shattered them. The album sold over 128,000 copies in its first week, hit platinum status in just 3 months, and climbed to number 7 on the Billboard 200. Il Na Na was the first female rap album to bust into the top 10 of the Billboard 200, breaking new ground for women in hip-hop. Foxy was international now, racking up certifications from all over. The album was packed with hits. Singles like Get Me Home, I'll Be, and Big Bad Mama were on constant replay. But it was I'll Be, featuring none other than Jay-Z, that really stole the show, peaking at number 7 on the Hot 100. After dropping her debut album, Foxy didn't just sit back and chill. Nah, she leveled up by teaming up with some of New York's hip-hop heavyweights, Nas, AZ, and Cormega, later swapped out for Nature, to create the supergroup, The Firm. This crew wasn't playing around. Their album dropped under Dr. Dre's Aftermath Records and was powered by a dream team of producers, including Dre, the Trackmasters, and legendary Steve Commissioner Stout from Violator Entertainment. The firm's sound first teased fans on Affirmative Action from Nas's album It Was Written, but they didn't stop there. They dropped their full project. Nas, Foxy Brown, AZ, and Nature present the firm the album, which had everyone talking. This record came in hot, owning the #1 spot on the Billboard 200. In March 1997, Foxy was living the life. She hit up MTV's Spring Break Bash in Panama City, Florida. It was something to see. Foxy rocking the stage alongside Snoop Dogg, the Spice Girls, and Stone Temple Pilots. That's an interesting cocktail recipe. That summer, she joined the Smokin' Grooves tour, hosted by the House of Blues. The lineup was a who's who of cool. Cypress Hill was headlining, with performances from Erykah Badu, The Roots, Outkast, and The Pharcyde. The tour kicked off in Boston, and it was set to be an epic ride. But things got a little rocky. Foxy missed a bunch of dates and eventually dipped out of the tour early. Sometimes even the biggest stars need a break. Foxy Brown's second album, China Doll, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling 173,000 copies in its first week. This achievement made her the second female rapper to top the charts after Lauryn Hill. Despite a later drop in sales, the album went platinum. Broken Silence was released, debuting at #5 on the Billboard charts with 130,000 copies sold in its first week and eventually certified gold. The album featured hits like Oh Yeah with Sprague Benz and Candy with Kellys.
Poster girl, dark skin, Christian Dior, poster girl, Moroccan Tim's chick.
Foxy collaborated with Hikaru Utada on Blow My Whistle for the Rush Hour 2 soundtrack, produced by the Neptunes, which contributed to the soundtrack's chart success. Foxy released the single Stylin', but faced setbacks when Def Jam canceled her album Il Na Na 2 The Fever. She publicly criticized industry people like Lil Cohen and P. Diddy for their roles in shelving her album. Despite this, Stylin' appeared on a popular hip-hop compilation. After initially leaving Def Jam, she started working on Black Roses. Foxy later re-signed with Def Jam under Jay-Z's leadership, but was derailed by sudden hearing loss in 2005. Although she regained her hearing in 2006, the album's release was delayed multiple times. Foxy signed with Black Hand Entertainment and planned to release Black Roses. She eventually released Brooklyn's Don Diva in 2008, which peaked at #83 on the Billboard 200. In 2020, she reunited with the firm for the track Full Circle on Nas's album King's Disease, signaling her continued influence and presence in the music scene. Foxy Brown has been on the block for a minute. She's an OG for sure. Back in the late 90s, Foxy and Jay were a power dynamic duo on the hip-hop scene. They were dominating the charts. But behind those fire tracks, there was some serious steaminess going on. Foxy wasn't shy about dropping hints in her lyrics, teasing everyone about a possible hookup with Jay. She kept us all guessing with those flirty bars. Meanwhile, Jay-Z played it cool and mysterious, not giving much away. For good reason, she was underage. Word on the street is that Jay-Z and Foxy Brown's relationship wasn't just about making hits. Allegedly, things got super shady after they hooked up. Rumor has it Jay-Z slept with Foxy when she was still underage, and then, when he couldn't keep her in check anymore, he supposedly used his power to blacklist her in the industry. Fast forward to now, and folks are saying he's been paying her off to keep quiet about what went down. I mean, think about it though. How else do you explain Foxy, who was once at the top of the game and rolling with Jay, just vanishing from the spotlight?
It seems like you got a question for Jay. Ask him.
Foxy had serious talent and was dropping hits left and right, so her sudden disappearance has always been a head-scratcher. And for a long minute there, fans were just going with the narrative that it was her beef with Lil Kim that her career. But right, everybody is looking at Jay a little sus. If these allegations are true, it paints a whole different picture of why she faded out of the entertainment scene. Throughout the 90s, Hov was instrumental in the early career of Foxy. He is credited with writing several songs on her debut album. Their first major duet, Ain't No N.I., was featured on the soundtrack of the Eddie Murphy movie The Nutty Professor, released in 1996. However, the song was actually recorded in 1994, which is significant because Foxy Brown, born in 1978, was just about 15 years old at the time. This raises serious questions about why Jay-Z had a teenager singing such explicit lyrics. The abrupt end to Jay-Z and Foxy Brown's successful collaboration raised eyebrows. Rumor has it, Jay-Z blacklisted Foxy after he lost control over her, and things get even messier. Remember those allegations that Jay-Z took Foxy's V-card at 15 when he was 27? Yeah, it gets worse. He allegedly funded her shopping trips, hair and nail salons while she was still in high school. The dynamic seems to have been deeply problematic, with Jay-Z exerting significant influence over Foxy's life and career.
She ran through Philadelphia and started an epidemic of her. She had to clap a lot of times. I know she had crabs because she gave crabs to my cousin.
Nothing's confirmed, but word on the street is, not only did he allegedly give her an STD, but there's also a rumor going around that she slept with multiple guys in Philly. Yikes. And if that wasn't enough, there's supposedly a tape floating around of her, Jay-Z, and Jamie Foxx in a threesome. What? Jay-Z was so desperate to keep it on the down low that he had her sign multiple NDAs, gag orders. Now, what or who does this remind you of? Who has had this kind of news floating around the media for years but only got astronomically worse quite recently? Which of Jay's friends' houses was recently raided by the FBI? Yeah, Diddy. So on the off chance you haven't heard about the Diddy story because you apparently live under a rock, because that would be the only explanation that makes sense. So, on March 25, 2024, the feds swooped down on Diddy's pads in LA and Miami like they were filming the next big action movie. Turns out, Homeland Security has been eyeing him for some seriously wild accusations. Think assaults and a whole lot of illegal stuff like guns and. They found a stash of firearms and even snagged Diddy's phones. Diddy's knee-deep in a bunch of civil lawsuits where people are accusing him of some pretty dark stuff, including and stretching back years. His lawyer is screaming witch hunt and insists these claims are pure. All this chaos is hitting Diddy where it hurts, his wallet. Sean John's swag, especially those cool glasses, got yanked from a big eyewear retailer. Bye-bye sales. The drama doesn't stop there. Some new claims just dropped, including a wild video that allegedly shows Diddy going off on his ex, Cassie. Plus, 2 more women are stepping forward with their own stories. Of course, Diddy's team is denying everything, but this saga is still unfolding. This drama ain't done yet, that's for sure. And with all of this unfolding in real time for Diddy, and know that it is public knowledge that he and Jay are tight, and have been for a hot minute now, they have been a part of each other's careers, supported each other, and hang out. What do they say about your friend and who you are again?
Then I met Foxy Brown. Then when I got with Foxy Brown, I knew it was real. I mean, my girlfriend is the biggest in the globe.
Back in the late 90s, she was so close to tying the knot with rapper Corrupt. They were engaged from 97 to 99, but things didn't quite work out. Fast forward to 2001, and she was engaged again, this time to reggae star Sprague Benz. Love life roller coaster much? The year 2000 was rough. She opened up about her struggle with depression and took a brave step by checking into Cornell University Medical College to fight her opioid addiction. She even admitted she couldn't hit the studio or stage without morphine. Talk about fighting some serious battles. Just when things couldn't get tougher, tragedy struck in 2001. Her uncle, Federico de la Asuncion, was one of the victims of the horrific American Airlines Flight 587 crash on November 12th. That loss hit hard, adding to the storm of challenges she was already facing. Life has definitely thrown some curveballs her way, but she's been fighting through it all. From May 2005 to June 2006, Foxy Brown had some major hearing issues and had to rock a hearing aid. Imagine recording music with someone tapping out the beats on your shoulder. Talk about finding a way to stay in the groove. On January 13, 2017, Foxy became a mom to a precious baby girl. First-time mommy vibes all the way. The beef between Foxy and Lil Kim is legendary. Things got super intense, especially after some shots were fired outside a NYC radio station. No love lost there. Foxy's been backing Nicki Minaj in the ongoing Nicki vs. Kim drama, keeping the rivalry alive. Even after Kim got out of prison, she's been giving Foxy the silent treatment. But Foxy? She's been throwing shade and shots at Kim non-stop in her tracks and during her shows. This feud's got more layers than an onion. The story goes, Lil Kim and Foxy Brown both hail from Brooklyn and even walked the same halls at Brooklyn College Academy. They started out as pals thanks to a mutual friend, but that's where the coziness ended. Both dropped their debut albums in '96, just a week apart. Fans and media couldn't help but pit them against each other, fueling some serious rivalry. Their one and only collab was on the remix of Total's No One Else back in '95, alongside Da Brat. This fleeting moment of unity was the calm before the storm. Flash forward to 1997. They're both on the cover of The Source mag with a provocative headline, Harlots or Heroines? Their lyrics and bold personas were making waves and stirring the pot. Rumor had it, Def Jam's CEO Lyor Cohen wanted a joint album from these two, but nope, their egos were too big to share the spotlight. It was a hip-hop dream that never came true. Things got heated with diss tracks flying left and right. Lil Kim fired shots with Notorious K.I.M. in 2000, while Foxy clapped back with her verse on Capone and Noreaga's Bang Bang. The lyrical battle was on. The feud hit its boiling point in February 2001 when their crews got into a wild shootout outside Hot 97 radio station in NYC. One man was injured, proving this beef was no joke. Despite all the drama, there's been buzz about a possible versus battle between these two. Could this be the showdown to end all showdowns? Or maybe the moment they finally squash the beef? We're on the edge of our seats.
Hold up, let's take it from the top. Gets my swerve on.
Foxy Brown's got a for being a bit fiery. Her rap sheet includes a bunch of assault and menacing charges. The drama kicked off in 2004 when she threw down with two manicurists at a NYC nail salon. Talk about nail-biting tension. Fast forward to September 7th, 2007, and a judge decided Foxy needed a timeout, sentencing her to a year in the slammer for breaking her probation from the nail salon scuffle. Just a few days later, on September 12th, rumors started swirling that Foxy might be pregnant, but her team was quick to squash that chatter. Things got even crazier in jail. On October 3rd, 2007, Foxy ended up in a brawl with another inmate, earning her 76 days in solitary confinement. And if that wasn't enough, the next day she went off on the prison guards and refused a test. Yikes. But Foxy turned things around. By November 27th, prison officials said she was back in Gen Pop for good behavior. Finally, on April 18th, 2008, Foxy walked out of prison a free woman. Ready for her next chapter? Let's see what's next for this firecracker. Foxy Brown had a wild night on July 21st, 2010. She got into it with her neighbor, Arlene Raymond, and things escalated quickly. First, she cussed her out, and then she mooned her. This wasn't their first showdown. Back in 2007, Foxy had a serious temper tantrum and launched her BlackBerry at Arlene. That little stunt got Arlene a restraining order against Foxy. The next day, on July 22, 2010, Foxy was arrested for violating that restraining order. She was hit with a criminal contempt charge, a Class E felony, the lowest level, but still a felony. When she appeared in court, Foxy pleaded not guilty and got out on $5,000 bail. But if things went south, she was looking at up to 7 years behind bars. Fast forward to July 12, 2011, and Foxy got lucky. The charges were dropped. No jail time this round, but just another chapter in Foxy's never-ending life of drama. From throwing tech to flashing the neighborhood, Foxy Brown sure knows how to keep things interesting.